Olá, tudo bem? It's your favorite Camon, some guy named Dave in Portugal. 3 years in, 3 whole years of learning this beautiful, quirky, welcoming, and yes, occasionally baffling country. And look, I love it here. I'm not just saying that for the YouTube algorithm. I'm genuinely grateful to call Portugal home. The food, the people, the landscapes, the rhythm of life. It's simply magical. But even after all this time, there are still a few things that make me go, foda-se. And just to be clear, it's not just for me. Even some of my Portuguese friends will admit, é verdade pá. So today, I want to share some of the things I still don't fully understand about Portugal with love, with humor, and with that wide-eyed curiosity that never quite goes away when you're living abroad. So let's dive right in, shall we? Number 1, store hours, a game of chance. So imagine this. You finally find that one little shop that sells the specific type of bolt you need for your squeaky IKEA chair. You check Google, it says open until 6 p.m. You call, no one picks up. But hey, that's normal in Portugal. You hop on the metro, you walk 20 minutes in the Lisbon sun, you turn the corner and bam, it's closed. No sign, no explanation, just you, a locked door, and your faith in Google shattered. But here's the kicker. The hours on the window still say aberto. And the locals, they just shrug. Nah, hoje não apeteceu. They just didn't feel like opening today. Now this isn't a judgment, it's a cultural reality. Portugal values quality of life, family first, and coffee breaks aren't rushed, they're sacred. A business might be technically open, but if someone's cousin is visiting from Alentejo, all bets are off. So what do you do now? You follow the local wisdom. Vai tomar café, pá. It's frustrating, but also kind of liberating, right? Calm people, wild drivers. Portugal is home to some of the chillest people I've ever met. They'll help you with directions. They'll chat with you at the cafe like your old friends, sometimes for way too long. They'll wait in line for the ATM like they've got nowhere else to be. But once they get into a car, all bets are off. Suddenly it's Formula One, but with Renault Clios. Tailgating is standard, blinkers are optional. Merging onto a highway, you'd better either be ready to floor it or pray for dear life because no one is getting over to let you in. And driving in the small villages, let's just say the concept of residential speed limits is more of a suggestion. I've seen large work vans flying through narrow cobbled streets that they can barely fit on. It's not out of malice, it's just the rhythm here, the hustle. But it can be dangerous. Tragically, I've seen accidents, even animals hit in the road. So if you're visiting, just be alert of this. Expect the unexpected. And yes, if someone cuts you off, then waves at you like you were the problem, that's just part of the game.
E assim, cabrão.
Lack of situational awareness, or is it peace? Now this one took me a while to understand. You're at the supermarket, you're behind someone at the register, and then they just stop. Pull out their wallet, count coins, chat with the cashier, stare into space. Meanwhile, there's a line of 8 people behind them. No rush, no stress, no awareness. At first I thought, how rude. But then I realized, it's not that they're being rude, it's just Portugal. Here people take their time, they exist in the moment. They don't rush because rushing is, well, kind of seen as impolite here. But sometimes it can be frustrating, especially if you're from a line culture like US or UK. In Portugal, you need to defend your place. If you leave a gap in the queue, someone will just step in. Not to be malicious, they genuinely didn't see you. At first, I thought it was chaos, but now I see it as something beautiful. They're not in their heads, they're living in their bodies, in the moment. Even if that moment is blocking the only exit in the entire building. Fogo. Let's face it, Small creators like me don't make much from YouTube. So a massive shout out to Incogni for sponsoring today's episode and keeping this channel alive. Your personal data is a gold mine, and there are whole outfits whose sole business model is buying and selling that information. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem, and whether you notice it or not, you're in the crosshairs for targeted ads, inflated insurance quotes, and more. They're gathering everything from your home address and email to your phone number and even your income. No wonder your phone's ringing off the hook with spam calls and your inbox is flooded with phishing attempts. But here's the real danger. That data pool makes you a prime target for identity theft. Luckily, privacy laws give you the right to demand your data be wiped from these broker lists. The catch? Hundreds of companies participate. And doing all that opt-out work by hand could take you ages. Enter Incogni. They take the wheel for you, reaching out to each data broker and requesting removal. And you can watch their progress in real time on a clean, easy-to-use dashboard. So far, they've already erased my info from over 250 broker sites, which is pretty wild. And they now feature a custom removal feature that allows you to submit any web page containing your data. Right now, head to Incogni.com and use code DAVEPORTUGAL to get 60% off their annual subscription. Regain control over your personal information with Incogni. And with that, let's dive back in today's video. Houses that freeze you from the inside out. Let's talk about Portuguese housing. If you've never lived here, let me paint the picture. It's 7 degrees outside, and somehow it's colder inside your house. You're wearing 2 jackets, under a blanket drinking hot tea, and your teeth are still chattering. And that's because many homes here in Portugal weren't built with insulation in mind. In newer houses, that is starting to change. But mold and humidity are very common.
Tenho muita umidade.
Ventilation, rare. People joke all the time, in Portugal, o inverno é dentro de casa. And most of the time, this issue could have been avoided. Proper waterproofing, insulation, and design could fix most of this. But building traditions here are old and change is slow. So if you're moving here, ask your realtor tough questions or prepare to become very familiar with the phrase desumidificador. The mail might be delivered. Mail in Portugal is, let's just say, an adventure. You order a package, it says it's out for delivery between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. A little bit of an inconvenience for people that work during these hours, but okay, you wait. Then at 8:57, bing, delivery failed. You were literally by the door the entire day. Nothing, no knock, no ring, no slip. Other times your package gets delivered to your neighbor, your local cafe, or somehow the pharmacy. And no one tells you. Sometimes you go on a quest across town through time and space just to claim some nail clippers you ordered from Amazon. It's predictable, but you get used to it. You laugh, you sigh, you tell yourself, "É a vida." But here's the crazy thing. Despite all these little oddities, Portugal just works. In its own beautiful, laid-back, occasionally absurd way, it works. The people are kind, public transportation is mostly on time, healthcare is accessible, and life just flows. You don't need 10 layers of rules and systems. There's trust, there's community, people help each other. It's the kind of place where if you leave your wallet on the cafe table, someone will most likely run after you to return it. And that is rare in the world today. We must protect Portugal at all costs. So hey, if you do come to visit Portugal, don't be that guy. You know, the pretentious douche lord who only speaks in English, demands brunch at 2 p.m., and insists on eating at Hard Rock Cafe in Lisbon. Instead, learn a little Portuguese, even if just a few words. Venture beyond the tourist hotspots. Skip the chain restaurants and eat where the locals eat. Trust me, they know what's good. Because as visitors, as foreigners, we actually do have a choice. We can choose to support the small, family-run businesses that have been here long before we showed up with our rolling suitcases and selfie sticks. So let's do that. Let's travel with curiosity, with humility, and with respect. Portugal is special, not because it's trendy, but because it's real. Let's keep it that way. I'd love to hear your stories about Portugal. Drop them in the comments below. And if you want to keep exploring this beautiful country with me, consider subscribing and join me on Instagram at Dave in Portugal for more daily behind the scenes content you won't want to miss. And to everyone in Portugal, obrigado do fundo do coração. Até a próxima. Ciao, ciao, bitches.